Today we will be showing you how to identify purity using the spectrophotometer and the Beer-Lambert law. We will be following the steps shown in order to guide us through this experiment. First, you will fill each cuvette with colorful dye found from your unknown solvent. You will use a blank made up of acetone in order to zero your spectrophotometer. Once at the spectrophotometer, open the computer software labeled Scan. This is the software we will use to read all of our dyes. Before testing any of our solutions, make sure the wavelength is set to 800 to 200 nanometers. The first solution we will put into the spectrophotometer will be our blank. Our blank solution is acetone. This will allow us to zero the program and prepare for the rest of the results. After inserting the blank and closing the spectrophotometer, you will select the zero button on the top left. Once the absorbance factor at the top left changes to 0, you are ready to begin the rest of your readings. Now you can remove the blank from the spectrophotometer and start testing your unknown solutions. When scanning anything in the spectrophotometer, you need to wipe each side with a Kim wipe before placing it into the machine. Once cleaned with a Kim wipe, open the spectrophotometer and securely place the cuvette into the machine, followed by securely closing the top of the spectrophotometer. Now you can press the button on the top of the screen labeled Start to begin your readings. Look out for a high-pitched faint noise to ensure the spectrophotometer is reading your solution. Now you can remove this cuvette to begin prepping to read the next solution. Like we did with the last cuvette, wipe this cuvette down with a Kim wipe before inserting it into the spectrophotometer. Close the machine and prepare to start this reading. Select OK and wait until the spectrophotometer stops reading this solution. Now you can remove this cuvette from spectrophotometer. Now we will perform the same steps as mentioned previously to perform our last reading. Instead of pressing OK, this time select Finish and observe your wavelength. We will qualitatively and quantitatively compare our wavelengths and graphs observed to identify the substance that makes up the solvent. The quantitative data focuses on measuring the substance present, while the qualitative data focuses on identifying what the substance present is. We quantitatively observe our wavelength, comparing it to known wavelengths in the lab. By doing so, we are able to qualitatively identify the substance. We also used the Beer-Lambert law to identify the different absorbances of the sample. The Beer-Lambert law is a fundamental principle in spectroscopy that describes the relationship between absorption of light and the properties of material in which light is passing. After making the observations, we were able to answer the following questions on our lab report and identify our solution. Now that we are done with the spectrophotometer, we will clean and rinse out all of our cuvettes and any other lab equipment used in the experiment, except for the cuvette containing acetone. Acetone gets disposed in the waste container under the hood. After dumping the substance, make sure to close the hood.